Wait a minute.
You're live.
All right.
Gonna pull a Truman Show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. Let me see. Wait, I'm gonna add Instagram in here.
Okay.
I had a little snafu with that.
I have a hiccup.
So, what do we want to talk about today?
We're gonna talk a little bit more on, are you a slave to the system? Because the other day, I guess yesterday, we talked about SNAP benefits. Still looks like we're on track for a government shutdown to continue.
Yeah.
And those might end in a couple days. But then, yeah, we want to go further into that for those who are on SNAP benefits. Maybe get you thinking, do you really want to be on them? Or why are you on them?
Right.
Because you can get off of them. It's how much do you want to get off of them?
Well, and does the government want you off of them?
That's another thing.
Right.
So, yeah, we can talk about that.
That's right. Yeah. So,
actually, when I looked up, I love ChatGPT. When I looked up if SNAP benefit, what if we cancel SNAP benefits? If we just cancel them? And one of the first one was hunger, which we know obesity is the number one health crisis. So I don't really think that's true. But another one,
well, it's not really. It's maybe like certain people feel like they have access to food issues, but the truth is we have an abundance of food. In fact, too much food is our biggest health problem in America.
Well, it could be a mental thing.
Yeah.
Because I look in our pantry, and if I only have one can of beans left or something, I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta go get more. So it could just be it's a natural response.
Yeah. And food can be expensive, I suppose. But there are a lot of ways. Like
food is expensive if you buy good quality. I will say that. And I'm feeding 3 boys in this house. I can't imagine having more. And a lot of people who are on SNAP or whatever, you have 5, 6 kids. Granted, did you have those kids for a reason, or were they accidents? Or there could be a lot of things that go with it. Personal responsibility is what I'm aiming at.
Yeah. And I think in general, like I understand people are going to have maybe ups and downs in their lives and need some help, but these programs were always intended to be temporary stopgaps, safety nets, and then people can get back on their feet and go. And at the end of the day, like nobody wants to be dependent on you shouldn't want to be dependent on someone else providing you resources.
Yes.
You want to be able to provide your own resources to support yourself and your family. And that is really important. And when you're dependent on the government, or when you espouse dependency on the government, like they're literally the worst ones to take care of you.
The government is the worst corporation in the world.
They're the most inefficient.
In the U.S., 100%.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why I was excited for Trump. I still like Trump. He's got great ups. He has some downs, but I would say I liked him because he was not a typical politician, and he ran great businesses. And I was like, yes, this country needs to be run like a business with your plus and minus, your profit loss, Excel sheet. Like, we got to work for sure on the debt. And unfortunately, SNAP is one of the largest contributors to the national debt.
It's a big one. But, right now it's being talked about mainly as a bargaining chip
for the shutdown.
Yes. Although it's not really at risk. Like if the Democrats vote for the continued resolution, it continues to get funded. But they're using it as though the government shutdown will start impacting SNAP benefits November 1st. And so the Republicans want your kids to starve. Meanwhile, the left is using this as a bargaining chip to get ACA subsidies, Affordable Care Act, Obamacare subsidies extended.
Another thing in ChatGPT, it said if you get rid of SNAP, healthcare costs and taxes will go up.
That's not true.
This is where ChatGPT, I want to be like, okay, who's programming you right now?
Yeah.
Yes, they say that ER visits, blah, blah, blah. We're there right now already. So just because you cancel SNAP does not, I can't see that. Because
I don't know why that would have any impact on
SNAP. I would
SNAP.
tell you, it said, what percentage of dollars from SNAP are used on healthy foods? And it said, that is a generic, we don't know. But A study in 2016, which is 10 years ago, said 14% of dollars were used on fruits and vegetables for SNAP.
Right.
So, like, okay, yes, then you are going to go to the ER because you're going to have chronic disease because you're eating terrible food.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get back to this whole slavery thing.
Slavery. Economic slavery.
Yeah. I know.
People think slavery is bad. It is bad. We don't want slaves. So, like, what's the difference between, like, slavery as most people think about it and then economic slavery? Meaning you just have to get up every day, work so that the government can send you, or vote the right way so that the government can send you your stuff.
Right. Yes, and that's what they want. And that's what they're getting.
Yeah. I see somebody in the chat said in Colorado they're stepping in to fund SNAP in the state. Yeah, and ultimately, like, I think it's an interesting concept of, like, why don't they localize these efforts?
We were just talking about this morning. I think it should be a state-by-state basis, not the federal government.
Or even community to community, because who knows better how to get food to the right channels in their community that need it than the community itself.
Right.
When you put these things into the hands of the federal government. Now, people demonize us for even asking these questions.
Right.
But, like, why not localize these efforts? And I mean, I just think now, maybe I'm old fashioned, but, like, I think about when I grew up, we didn't have any of these benefits.
Did you walk uphill both ways?
Uphill both ways in snowstorms. Yeah, all that. But we didn't have any homeless or hungry people in our community. A small town. I mean, small, medium town. And if people were hungry, we had churches that had programs. People were happy to help, support through charity. And then sometimes you could sponsor a family or families, right? If you were in a better position, and it felt good because you knew exactly where things were going. You knew exactly how you were helping. You'd have potlucks at the church with, real food that people cook versus like some packaged, ultra processed garbage.
I might play devil's advocate. You are a small town, so maybe there was fewer people. And also
sure, but
population in general.
It's all relative though. Like in a place like this, there's in Phoenix where we live, there's churches on every block. Like there's plenty of, I just feel like there's plenty of resources.
Right.
And
yeah, actually they should totally tap into that if they start focusing on AI for jobs where people lose their jobs. Like have churches help more because one, people will feel a purpose by going to that. Going to the making food for the potluck or helping people get back on their feet. You would reach out to your church and they say, I know Joe Schmo who we can get you a job.
Yeah, exactly. Here's a follow-up comment in the chat. Somebody was listening to a podcast about Idaho, and the federal government apparently sent them a bunch of potatoes that they didn't need because they make their own potatoes.
Wait, Idaho is the potato capital of the... Okay. Wait, they sent them potatoes?
That's pretty funny. But this is like classic example of
the too much government.
Yes, too much government.
Yes.
That's nonetheless, nobody wants anybody to go hungry. And I was looking up stats. I was looking up stats on this yesterday. We could pull up a couple like of these lunatic social media libs that post about this because they're all in unison. They all coming out and demonizing anybody that doesn't want to vote for this mess. Anyway, I was looking up some stats in terms of how many people in America starve. And you have to say like how many people, starve in this country, and it's basically zero. It's like 6 to 10.
Okay.
Now there are people that get malnourished because of neglect. So maybe they have mental health issues, they're anorexic, or they have a care provider. Maybe they have a private care provider that doesn't take good care of them. And so they become malnourished and pass because of that. That's obviously unfortunate.
There will always be an exception. Yes.
Yes. People are not starving because they have lack of access to food.
Correct. We all have access to food.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So it's just a matter of like getting there, mobilizing your communities. But unfortunately, what's happened with the onset of the welfare state is that local communities are like, well, like, I guess big government's got it.
Yeah.
And so they've disengaged a little bit where like those programs were successful, localized, and people felt good about it. So I think people do want to generally, like people want to feel good that what they're
people
what they're
would
doing
volunteer.
and they
People
volunteer.
would totally volunteer
Yes.
and help others out. But no, everybody's dependent on not everybody. I use those words a lot for those who are watching. I say all,
absolutes.
everybody, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Careful with absolutes.
But, well, I lost my train of thought. But I'll admit in advance, I use those words.
Yeah.
I catch myself.
Right.
Wait, so you're showing videos? What are you doing?
Let's see. I can.
But yeah, what we're saying is you do not need to be a slave to the system. I would think you would rather not be. That is a mindset I would think most people would want to have.
Most people would say that, but then like taking the action to do that it's different.
It's breaking bad habits, honestly.
Yeah. It's easier to like blame than do.
Oh, so I have blamed and then it's like, okay, step back,
catch myself doing it too. It's much easier. It's easier to criticize than
criticize.
Do. Yeah.
Instead of criticize.
Yeah. Or make plans versus making excuses. There's a lot of ways you could put this.
Yep.
So yeah.
We all make excuses. Everybody, I would say, has that. That is an everybody. I said it. Makes excuses 100% because it's easier for an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
Anyway, are you pulling up a video?
I can do that. Yeah. Let me get one of these ready. The other thing we could talk about while I pull this up is, sorry. There's a new article out. Bill Gates. We'll put a post out about this. It's incredible. So Bill Gates essentially like published this long thing saying, yeah, thinking more about climate change.
Wait, I feel him and Greta, whatever.
Thunberg?
Yeah. Were like the hot people for climate change.
Yeah. Until all our predictions were wrong. So basically he's saying everything that we've been saying for decades, which is climate change. It's something we should talk about, but it's not going to end the planet.
Oh, you are going to upset a lot of people with that.
It's not going to end the world. He said by 2100, the year 2100, the global temperature will only go up a couple of degrees.
Okay.
And that technology and even the use of current fossil fuels will actually save more lives than it hurts because we're bringing people more people die in cold than they die in heat each year.
Yes.
So that's one thing. And then he also is proposing and supporting nuclear energy.
Okay.
Yeah. So he's like basically saying everything that we've been saying for the last 2 decades.
Does he point out he is now agreeing with other people, or is he acting as if he is the king? And
I think he's just like, I've come to this resolution. Yeah.
Wait, all that Bill Gates, the Gates Foundation.
He wanted us to eat bugs. He literally wanted us to eat bugs.
I was gonna say he did the plant meat, right? Grow the meat in the lab.
Lab-grown meat. Yeah.
So I guess the business ain't doing too well.
Right.
He's got to think differently now.
Wild.
Okay, well, that's interesting. So everyone, we're free. The world is okay with climate.
Well, no, we're not okay. We got to take care of the planet. I think everybody generally agrees with that. But
No, but the water's rising or whatever.
Yeah.
The hail, blah blah blah, all this whatever.
Yes. The truth is the planet changes over time.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine the dinosaurs must have been freaking out, right? Yeah. When Pangea formed.
No, they knew it was coming. They probably knew it was coming. They were like, you're farting too much.
Yeah. Yeah, if you brontosaurs, you just stop your feces.
Yeah, quit eating plants and having all the fiber.
Yeah.
It's like all the cows now, they say the factory farming and the toots are creating the gas, which it probably is, but not to the extent where we're going to die.
Yeah.
Small changes.
Right. Okay, hey, should I show a couple of these posts? Let's see if I can do this.
Let's see. Yeah, you're doing this like a teaser. You said it 10 minutes ago that you'd show a video.
Sorry, I got distracted.
We hope people are enjoying what we're doing.
Yeah.
Again, we're just trying to expand some GSD stuff.
Okay, here. I'm going to pull up.
That guy is the worst.
He's a freaking lunatic.
That guy is the worst.
Oh my God. He just yells at the camera like profanities over and over again. So I'm going to pull this up. I left a comment. So I wouldn't say I trolled them, but I do like to be a voice of opposition or devil's advocate sometimes in these posts, because these guys like Luke or Chris or Dean or Parker, like these people, these liberal influencers, have an incredible echo chamber. Like nobody dares to say anything in their chats. And so they end up just believing this stuff that they espouse wholly without any question. And sometimes I just post like a stat, a fact. Sometimes they delete them because they don't like the facts that I put in. Oh. So I find it interesting. And then of course, like people absolutely just pile on. They got to hate on the conservatives, right? So I'm really helping them. I'm really helping out with their engagement. That's how I see it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
they should give you some dollars.
Yeah, they should. They should do some like, yeah, they should do some revenue share with me. Let me just see here. Okay. I was just going back to another thing. Okay, so you ready?
Yeah.
I'll see if I get the volume up on this.
Say that all MAGA are bad people. Oh, yes, I can. Yes, I fucking can. And you know why?
All MAGA.
Because to these soulless, vacuous, human fucking husks, children with empty stomachs are inconsequential just as long as the libs get owned and the rich get richer. And you will never convince me that that is not indicative of moral fucking bankruptcy.
Very open-minded.
It should not be controversial to say, yeah, kids should get fucking...
Yeah, that shouldn't be controversial. But
and yet these
you know who's holding up the vote?
Are fighting tooth and fucking nail to say it is. Setting aside the laundry list of abhorrent shit that these people have looked past up to this point.
So maybe we'll pause it there.
I couldn't understand much of it because he's yelling the whole time.
He's always yelling. That's his thing. Yeah, that's his thing.
I feel sorry for him.
Yeah.
To have that much anger, like you have big problems.
It's definitely a lot of anger. Here's the thing though. They could just vote for the continuing resolution. All this stuff gets funded. So they're picking out the most demonizing, fear-mongering thing that they can pick out that will have funding cut from it, which is SNAP. And then that is still predominantly adults. So then they have to take a smaller segment of that, which is the children, right? And say that we're starving children. Like this is where they have to go to try and make a cogent point, which is ridiculous. It's fear-mongering, and it's not even accurate.
No, it's not true. And
by the way, he says this is all for big corporations. Do you know what the Democrats want? They want continued funding for Obamacare, Affordable Care Act, subsidies for premiums. And guess who gets those premiums, Luke?
Big companies.
Big companies, your insurance companies. The biggest lobbyists in the nation are pharma and insurance companies. And so the Democrats want to lace the pockets of these insurance companies rather than putting the insurance companies on notice to have to start lowering their premiums. This was done as a ticking time bomb back in COVID. They put these subsidies in place and they time out. And if they don't time out, we're going to add another $3.3 trillion to the deficit. But these are the things they don't want to talk about. Like, hey, hello, reality.
Well, this goes into, sorry, people, if you are needing government assistance, you are funding these big corporations. Hello, it's like a spinning time bomb. Yeah. I don't think many of these people understand that. This is why you need to be free for yourself. Do not take government assistance. Sure, have it for whatever 6 months you may need, but get back on your butt and get some work done, because you are actually fueling all of the gasoline on this flame here on this big government. I don't think people understand this. And I know a lot of people don't like Candace Owens right now, but I think she's got some good points that make people think. And I remember I read her book back in 2020 when it came out. It's called Blackout, where she's trying to open the eyes of Black Americans of like, you have been on this government plantation slavery since the beginning, and the government is pulling you along. And I still don't think people are opening their eyes to that. White, black, whatever. But her book was so eye-opening. I loved it. I highly recommend people read it.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to drop a link for that. Something. Maybe. But anyway, I want to circle back on. So in that rant that we just saw, I just dropped a comment and said something to the effect of, just ask AI or Google or whoever, right? If SNAP is ended, how many children were starved to death?
Okay, what did it say?
And the answer is 0.
It did say 0, really?
Yes.
0?
Yes.
Okay.
How many will starve? Literally starve to death, not have food insecurity. Okay.
It's
just a funny term to say like, oh, a little hungry, but ultimately like this isn't even the issue. They've changed the issue from we want to fund insurance companies from government taxes to you're starving the children.
Right.
So this isn't even the argument.
Yeah.
And even the people in the chat here are like, yeah, but the kids, the SNAP. Look, the issue is they want to keep funding insurance companies and they're using starving of children as their leverage point. What a bunch of D-bags. What a bunch of
But see, that's what
D-bags.
people fall for. They would rather hear, oh, the kids are starving.
Open your mind. Like, I'm sorry. I appreciate your
what would you say? It's like a spider web
and empathy, but like this is
Are you getting is your heart rate really high?
I'm starting to be Luke.
What's that? I've never heard that
guy.
word.
That guy.
Oh, be Luke.
Yeah,
I thought I'm
embodying his energy.
I have a Luke. That's what I thought you meant. Be Luke. Gotcha. Anyway, calm down. But do you have another video?
Yeah, some people in here asking about Venezuela. I don't think we're not going to cover that today. Maybe another day. That's an interesting.
Oh, that's
topic.
where they're considering attacking Venezuela because that's where the drugs are coming from.
Yeah. Like there's people that are apparently like anti-getting drug dealers these days. That's another interesting point.
Yeah, we talked about that with the boys about Trump sending National Guard.
Somebody's asking about is abortion bad? Well, this is also not the topic for today.
Yeah,
but yeah, of course. Like like. What are you talking about?
Actually, there is a story of how Planned Parenthood started. You guys should dig deeper on that.
Yes. Margaret Sanger started Planned Parenthood and she's a total racist. They wanted to like keep the Black community from reproducing.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, that's off topic. But that is that's something to consider. Okay. We could talk about that one day. But we're still back on, are you a slave to the freaking government? And unfortunately, we all are because, Matt, you've covered with the boys, like, do you own your home? Even if you paid cash for your home?
We don't own our homes.
You pay property tax. You are a slave to the government. We all are.
We're all renting from the government. And then as the government keeps taking on debt, inflation goes up, meaning asset prices go up. And so then your home is more valuable. And guess what? You pay more as a ratio of your property every year
on your property taxes.
And so even if you think you've retired and have your financial setup ready so that you can sustain your property taxes into old age, you don't because of inflation. And then the state can just change the state property taxes and ultimately force you out of your home because you can't pay the property tax on your home. And a lot of states have provisions for this, but they only last so long.
Didn't you say this is the one where I was like, oh, California did this? You told me the other day that's why a lot of properties in, say, San Diego or along the coast stay in the family because there's a certain law where they won't raise property taxes?
California, it could be a state thing or it might be local to LA and San Diego, but there's a provision where basically you're grandfathered in at the property tax rate of when you bought the property. Now, I think that expired a decade or so ago, but like families that had a property in the family, then they end up keeping it in the family. And so somebody who's got a place in
we just got shorted. Yeah.
What was that?
That was weird.
Anyway, so somebody who has a place in San Diego that was passed down through the family, they might be paying like $500 a year in property taxes, even though it's like a $10 million property.
Right. I was like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'd love to have that. But I mean, that would be great for families.
Hold up. Is your video freezing?
Yours was too.
I don't know what happened. Everything just kind of glitched.
Sorry, people.
It's
malfunction.
I think we're back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we were talking about we're all slaves, but specifically, I guess, sorry, I keep getting off topic.
Yeah.
It's all relevant to slavery, but
economic slavery.
Economic slavery.
You want to look at another clip?
Sure. Are you going to show it or are you going to wait 10 minutes?
I got it.
Okay.
I got it. Let me get it. Man, it's harsh.
I'm just, you talk about it. And then
my wife is a realist. She keeps me honest.
Actually, I never knew I was a realist until someone pointed it out. And I was like, I love that term.
Here's another left-wing influencer.
Okay.
I just woke up and NVIDIA is the most valuable company of all time, worth $5 trillion. And in 48 hours, millions of people are going to starve to death because they're going to.
Starve to death in
48 hours. Millions of people are going to starve to death.
Millions.
No fear mongering here, right?
Well, also, honey, these people, sorry, they're like teenagers.
I know.
I know a lot of people say about our boys, but they're not, we have a family channel. This kid, I don't know if he's had a job his whole life. He's living off his parents.
This is what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what he does. But anyway, like literally just comes right out of the gate and says millions of people are going to starve to death in the next 48 hours.
True.
First of all, it takes 30 days to starve to death. Okay. Like, that's not funny, but it's like, that's true.
Pointing out, yeah.
It takes a while to starve to death. Okay. So I just said, like, nobody in America is starving to death. Our biggest problem is obesity and victimhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Oh, gosh. Unbelievable. And people are really pissed about that. He said he had another post yesterday. Check this one out. This one is also categorically false.
I got in an argument with my grandparents the other day because they believe the government shutdown is being caused by Democrats trying to provide undocumented people with Medicare and Medicaid.
True.
And that is not happening. And I love my grandparents to death. They're super MAGA. I try not to argue with them, but sometimes
you shouldn't argue with your grandparents for a number of reasons. The first one is they're right. Okay. So I posted this also. It's like, hey, you should call and apologize because they are correct. ACA includes massive carve-outs for illegals like DACA, refugees, asylum, TPS, fraudulent IDs, and many states, at least 11, have provisions that provide this. And don't forget emergency Medicaid. So if you go to the ER, emergency Medicaid pays for that.
Yep.
And so these are all services that benefit people who are illegal. And so they absolutely want, that's a big part of their extension of ACA tax subsidies.
Oh, I hope his grandparents are still proud of him.
Oh, I'm sure, but he should definitely call them and apologize.
Right? He'll probably text. That's what these kids do. Our boys are just as bad.
He'll send him a snap.
Yeah, a snap. That's good.
Yeah.
Snapchat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I've never seen that kid. Is he new or have I just?
Yeah, he's been out there well.
Okay.
He's got like 400,000 followers, something like that.
He's got some blue eyes.
Must
be Irish.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like a genuine person. A lot of these people who seem genuine, I think they're just, unfortunately, like they're just not hit with like opposing views in a way that they can digest.
Disinformation.
Mm-hmm.
All these new words that are so annoying. How about just check the facts?
Like here's somebody's commenting, release the Epstein files.
I do think they need to come out.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, everybody wants the Epstein files.
I love that that's all people say. Epstein files, and I think a pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
What else? There's like
by the way,
things.
Republicans can go nuclear on this bill, but this would be unprecedented. Like there's to go around the filibuster would be unprecedented. It sets a bad example. It's not really democratic, and it could cause future issues with when power is in a different balance that people do the same thing. If the Republicans are in the minority, it sets a really bad precedent. That's just not the right thing to do. Is to say, oh, go nuclear. No, like that's not.
You want everyone to be on the same page, or at least like bipartisan. Just come to a nice agreement. But I feel it's harder for these politicians to do that. Everybody's stubborn. They want power.
Both Democrats and Republicans, by Epstein, both Democrats and Republicans are voting to not release the files. So I don't they must know something that's in there that harms, damages. I don't know. But I don't know. I don't want to fight battles that we absolutely have no understanding or control over either. Now, is Trump's name in there? Sure. Tons of names in there. That doesn't incriminate them.
Right.
So why don't you move on to a policy that makes sense? Right. Like if you don't like Trump's border policy, talk about that. But this whole I
do okay, if we're going to just branch off to Epstein files, it's in the past, right? And I do feel, is it worth going back in time to play a blame game and
on why they're not released?
Well, just in general, I'm saying a lot of things from previous administrations.
Well, I want pedophiles gone.
Well, yeah, 100%.
Not just in jail.
But I guess generically, I'm saying each administration is at fault for going back to a previous administration and saying you did this wrong.
Yeah.
like, is that worth our time? Because like I could play devil's advocate to myself of like, don't we have other things to look on? But shouldn't we also like condemn bad behavior so that it doesn't happen again? So I'm a little confused on how to handle those.
I think it's funny. Like I didn't hear any of this. I didn't hear any of this the last 4 years. And then, I mean, I obviously like Trump ran on the campaign a bit with like releasing them.
Yeah.
So I suppose there's some legitimate claim to like, well, why hasn't he yet? Well, he can't, like he personally can't.
It's the DOJ. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's things going on there.
I think it's just a deep state. I think, unfortunately, everybody, conservatives, progressives, liberals, Democrats, Republicans, there is a deep state that they are out there to get everybody. And I think trying to change that will take decades to weed them out. So it's almost like you just got to go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Let's see. Let's see. Any maybe questions from the chat? That would be great.
Or tomorrow's Halloween.
See, yeah, we got Halloween tomorrow. I could share another post. By the way, I thought this was interesting. I'll share this because this is Obama.
Okay. Recently, or
yes, the Messiah himself.
Oh,
yeah, the Messiah, the Messiah himself, talking about immigration. You guys see this?
Wait, this is recent.
This is, I mean, no, this is back in like 2007 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Check this out. So good.
Look, you've broken the law. You didn't come here the way you were supposed to. So this is not going to be a free ride. What's going to happen is you are going to learn English. You are going to go to the back of the line so that you don't get ahead of somebody who was in Mexico City applying legally.
Oh,
I think the American people, they appreciate and believe in immigration. Yep. But they can't have a situation where you just have 500,000 people pouring over the border
20
without any kind of mechanism to control it. Look,
okay. Oh boy. Wait, so this is from a while ago, but now it's surfacing again?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Well, that's what's tricky.
It's all about, I think what ended up happening is they had a very similar message on immigration for years, Hillary, Obama. And then in recent years, what they realized is immigrants, we need to augment the massive decline in reproduction rates that the country has. So that's one. Two, we like cheap labor, and all of our constituents and lobbyists and people that fund our NGOs like cheap labor. Three is, oh my gosh, when these people come in, they vote 80% of the time for us
because they're slaves to the government.
Yes. So let's do this. Let's bring them in. Let's just open it up. So yeah, let's change let's create a power imbalance, just like they did in California, making it a permanent blue state with Reagan's amnesty. So yeah, that's but the tune's very much changed now.
I wonder if people will condemn Obama for that.
Oh, I'm sure they'll say something like, well, opinions change and that's okay. Just like the guy that had the German tattoo on his chest. Well, he was like, literally you can wave at a crowd if you're Elon and you are the
word
not. But if you have it tattooed on your chest, nothing to see here.
Yep.
Nothing to see here. It's fine. Totally fine.
He didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anything else? Otherwise, it's been about 30 minutes. People will probably get back to work.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get back to our days. But we appreciate everybody tuning in. Somebody said they followed us on social. Great. Thank you.
Love it. YouTube.
We appreciate it.
Make sure you subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube, we're going to be posting more long form stuff, and we're also start having people join in, and whether it's debates and dialogue, but that's the kind of stuff we want to get more active on.
Yep.
But anyway, thanks so much. And if we don't talk to you, have a happy Halloween tomorrow.
Peace.